I'm headed back into the Rocky Mountains of like central Colorado. I have been driving for a few hours now to get here. Of course, the biggest reason I'm going is because I'm going to go camping. I love camping. But another big reason I'm going is I'm trying to find a good place for bear hunting. Bear season is in about 5 weeks. So I'm trying to find some better spots than what I found in the past so that I can do that. So I'll be out here for the weekend, a couple of days. Of course, I'll be doing, camp cooking. I think I'm going to sleep in a hammock. That's my plan anyway. I hope to do a little fishing if I can find, the right spots for that. And I'd also like to show you guys some of the new camping gear that I've gotten recently and some of the minor camping modifications that I've made to the Grand Cherokee. I've just stopped here, got to get some gas, bathroom break, that kind of thing, and back on the road. Probably another 45 minutes until I get to the area that I'm going to, but I'm probably going to be doing quite a bit of driving around while I'm there, so I'll keep you posted. So that road did not give me access to the kind of place that I was looking for. Ended up turning around, took a couple of roads and offshoots of the roads, but one was just, I wasn't willing to try it in the Grand Cherokee, and two others, there were just down trees across the roads, so didn't give me what I'm looking for. That's all right. I've got several other roads near here that I'm gonna try, but thought I would take a break for a few minutes, grab something out of my fridge to eat, and then move on to the next road, see what happens. So I've just been driving around for a while, trying to find, I went to a reservoir, took a look at that, and now I'm still just kind of driving around on these back roads. But look at how pretty this valley is here. I mean, just a beautiful spot. I mean, this is why you gotta love going camping. But I definitely feel like I'm on the right track here. This is the kind of place that I'm looking for. You're only gonna get people with off-road vehicles that are gonna come in here. Well, typically, I guess. Some people may be brave with some smaller vehicles, but I don't think many would. But this is the kind of place that I was hoping for, and so hopefully I'll continue up here and find a great spot. So I got up to the top of that mountain and decided this is where I'm going to stay tonight. So found a nice spot to back up here into the trees and hung my hammock in such a way that it just kind of opens up to the back of my Jeep. So I don't think I'm going to get much rain. If I do, I can always drop the tarp. Otherwise, I will leave it this way. I have later, I'll show you, the table and kitchen will kind of hang out of the back of the Jeep, and then I'm got this space under the tarp to chill out. So yeah, it's gonna work out great. Like I said earlier in the car, I wanted a hammock camp this time. The weather is just too perfect to try to waste sleeping in the car, I guess, is the point. So I'd much rather sleep in a hammock anyway. when the weather's this nice. I think it's not even going to get into like the upper 50s is the lowest it's going to get tonight. So hammocking it is, at least for tonight. Small chance of rain, but not much. It shouldn't rain too terribly much this weekend while I'm out here, but the bugs are out in force, that's for sure. So we'll see. Maybe I'll put my bug net on my hammock. I don't know, but this is going to be a great spot. So, like I said, I am at the top of this mountain, but you can't see very far from my camp spot because of there are a lot of trees up here, which is good. It's what I wanted for the shade, and really that's why I put the rainfly up so quickly, was because the sun was kind of coming down right here in this one spot, and I thought it would definitely be cooler in the shade, so I put it up. So yeah, this is gonna work great. I'm happy. So I'm actually gonna go for a walk through the woods, take a look around. Like I said, I'm kind of at the top of a mountain, so I want to take a look around kind of from all directions to see how far I can see, if I can get, a break in the trees or something like that. That wild, that gorgeous valley that I showed on the drive in is to the west, but like I said, I'm at the top of a mountain, so there's another valley on the other side. So I'm gonna walk around for a while and see what I can find. Not too far from where I set up camp, I found this shelter that somebody made. Pretty cool. This is the joys of dispersed camping. You find these pretty regularly. People come out and build some kind of a shelter structure. This one has, it's like 2 entryways, and it's tall too. Man, they took pretty good advantage of, look right in the middle, 3 trees in a row, and then the tree on the outside here, and then there are trees around it. So somebody had a pretty good vision when they found this and said, hey, let's make a teepee out of it. So obviously not, weatherproof, but something fun to do. Pretty cool. So a piece of gear that I got recently was this chest, like it's a binoculars bag, a bino bag. I've been looking for them for a while and just didn't find, anything that I was interested in terms of price, especially. So looked around and finally found this and really like it. Obviously, I wasn't carrying my binoculars in it. Binoculars have a great strap. I really don't want them for the binoculars so much as I want it for carrying around other things, a pistol, knife, compass, whistle, anything else like that I might want to put in here. And I have other bags, but I wanted one of these, so I got one, and I really like it. It's super nice when you're out hiking around or scouting, whatever you're doing. I found it really useful. Didn't really see much when I was out walking around. I didn't expect to see, any big game. I did find big game trails, but they're obviously old because there are no, chipmunk, there are no fresh tracks. So I didn't expect to see a whole lot way up here on top of this mountain anyway, because there's just no real fresh water this high. You've got to go a couple of miles down to the water. So I've seen a bunch of squirrels, but nothing big, no deer or bear, really, no signs to speak of. So I'm definitely going to have to keep looking around, but it was fun. It was a good walk. It's spent about an hour just walking around, checking out the area around the site. And yeah, I mean, that's how you find new things, right? Is to explore. So now I'm back. I think I will continue to kind of set up my camp a little bit, kind of decide what I'm going to do next. Might just chill out for a while because I've got quite a bit of time before it's time to cook anything. And I haven't quite decided how I'm going to cook, but I'll show you that in a little while. So I just saw a bear, and it was close. I mean, like close, close. He went. I heard him back here. And he came this way, right across this opening just past this tree stump, and went this direction. So he's back behind these trees. And the bad part is, well, for me, is I've been back there and just past all these trees. There's kind of a clear opening. Well, it's clearer, kind of like where I'm standing. So he can easily move all the way around behind me, any direction. And I have no way of knowing. I mean, I'm really tempted to just get in my car because that is the safest place to be. I don't hear him anymore, but obviously the bear was digging or something. I'm so surprised. Still not seeing where it went. It was a big one too. He had to have heard me. He had to know that I was just right over there behind my car. I was sitting in a chair watching a movie. So he had to have heard the movie. There's no way in hell that bear didn't know I was there. I'm gonna keep looking around. I obviously don't wanna make it angry or anything, but as soon as I came out from around the car and saw it, I dipped back down to get the iPad. And then when I came back around the front of my car, it was gone. And when I saw it, like I said, it was moving across here, right here, going that direction. So I'm gonna look around a little closer and see if I can find tracks. So I've been continuing to look for the bear for about 20 minutes or so. You can see my car, and I'm standing where I saw the bear kind of cross. Heard the noises from this area, and then I saw it when it was about where I'm standing, maybe up just a bit. So again, the bear was in here somewhere, this area, and it appeared to be heading in that direction. And there is, it looks like a path, game trail. And I walked this earlier when I first got here, but I actually came from that direction and came back this way and circled back around to my camp. So my concern, or one concern anyway, is if the bear could have essentially gone off either up here, which right up here, right there, if you turn immediately 90 degrees to your right and walk through those trees, that's where my camp is. So the bear may have come this way, may have come in. Actually, it turned and gone in any direction back here. Based on having scouted this terrain earlier, I suspect the bear followed this path. And this path, like I said, can turn into the camp, but it also continues on in that general direction and then kind of veers off to the left or veers off to the right a little deeper. I was hoping to see tracks so that I would have a better idea where it was going. A couple of interesting things out of that. I mean, first of all, it's cool to see bear. That's a big part of why I came here, was to find a good place for bear season in 5 or 6 weeks. But it's also really, I mean, it's a bit concerning. Anytime you're out like this, it's a bit concerning that something could so easily walk up on you. And you could also argue, well, that's probably happened half a dozen times in the 6 hours that I've been here, and I never knew it, which is absolutely true. I've had really interesting encounter with deer before, like that. The deer would come in close and watch and see what I was up to. Essentially, I've got pictures of that from last summer. That's what that happened. This one deer watched me for a while. I mean, you really have to pay attention to what's going on around you. You have to listen for those things. Even though, like I said, I was sitting here just like this watching a movie on the iPad, and I started hearing noises that were unusual coming from that direction. And then I heard it 3 times, and I thought, okay, that's different. And so I started watching over there, looking over there, and then I moved just a little bit, barely stood up, and then I saw the fur. And I thought, my first thought was, it's a deer. That's why I was saying the color was odd. It looked browner than I'm expecting to see black bear out here, but this looked brown, and it may have just been the way the light was hitting it or something through the trees. But I thought, oh, that's kind of brown. Reminded me of a whitetail. Stood up, like I said, walked to the front of the Jeep, just about 20 feet away, and once I looked over the hood of the Jeep, I saw the bear clearly, and it was about 45 yards, I would say, away, and it was moving in that direction. Like I said, I jumped back, came back over here because I wanted to get my pistol and the iPad. I wouldn't shoot unless I was either, first I would try to scare it away if I felt threatened by it, and then I would only shoot the bear if I felt like it was legitimately coming after me, kind of thing. But I don't think a bear would. I think a bear would probably do like the deer did last summer and just watch me for a while and figure out what the heck is this dude doing up here, But this is a camping spot of, like, there are a couple of fire pits where you can tell people camp here regularly. So the bear are fully aware that people come up here. What kind of concerns me about that is, well, they could be looking for people food, or not, food that people would bring with them while they're camping. That's what I mean. So they may come to this area thinking, people leave stuff behind. Anyway, so the interesting thing about that came out of that kind of encounter was that these animals that live out here obviously this is their environment. Another interesting thing I wanted to talk about that came out of this encounter was, earlier I was saying the game trails looked like they were old. I don't see any fresh tracks. But the more I walked around looking for this bear after it left, I'm pretty sure it left because I walked a big portion, like 270 degrees around my camp. But it's been dry here, so I kind of thought the game trails were older, probably because I wasn't seeing any fresh tracks. But if there's not been any rainfall up here, then tracks. It's going to be harder to find them in dry dirt. So success in a lot of ways, because legitimately this could be this is a potential hunting spot, no doubt. If you're seeing bear, and it was a big bear too. It was not an immature bear. It was an adult, no doubt. Pretty exciting to see a bear like that. A little concerned now that I'm sleeping in a hammock. That's a part of it. I slept in a hammock last year. I bear hunted, but I didn't have an encounter like that last year either. So them being so close, maybe I'll start a little fire to get the smoke, because that can warn the animal. And like as I was doing earlier watching the movie, I'll continue to do things to make noise, because I'm not out here to kill anything. I'm out here to see if it's a potential hunting ground, for ears and eyes open. And let's see if we can see another one tonight. So it started to rain a little bit, so I'm going to change my plans on how I'm going to cook. I've used this once before, it worked really well. So I've got this barbecue grill, which the good thing about it is the way that I've used it in the past. Obviously you can just start a fire in there, but just using a can of Sterno, when you put it underneath the grate in the grill, it's like the perfect height for my pot. And in the past when I've used it, I've covered the whole thing up because it was super windy, but I'm not gonna need it this time. I just think it's cool. I love trying new ways to cook stuff, and this has worked in the past. I know it'll work again, so I'm just gonna use it this time to cook on it again. I'll show you what it looks like, and I'm trying to give you like an idea about how long it took. Light it up. That easily. Yeah, this little barbecue grill is pretty cool. It's something I picked up in a secondhand store, the barbecue grill, and thought, yeah, I'll use it. I'll use it eventually, and I have, like I said, I've used it before, not for similar things, very similar way. And the other thing too is the barbecue grill I intend to use as like a fire pit, because it's just easy. I can move it, put it wherever I want, and I don't have to, gather stones and make a ring or anything like that. So I think it's going to be a fun tool to use. Hey, good morning. I haven't really started to break up camp yet, but a little bit, kind of messing around. I got up this morning, and walked around for a while. Just wanted to check out the area again in the morning. It looks like it's going to be a beautifully warm day. I wanted to show you the one thing is I put, last night before I went to bed, I put the underquilt on my hammock, and I can't speak highly enough of those. I hesitated, I guess, when I first bought one years ago. Didn't know how necessary it was, but once I got it and actually had to sleep on a cool night, it's awesome. So I highly recommend an underquilt. It just makes everything so much warmer. Just the remnants of my little fire pit last night. Um, it was pretty amazing how much a difference a fire makes. It was dark, and it was almost dark when I started it up, and I was tired, and then I lit the fire, and it was like boom. I was good for a couple of more hours after that. Something about having the fire and having to get up and put more wood on it really livened things up for me. So it was a nice feature last night. One thing I've had for a while, but I don't think I ever really showed anybody, was I have this refrigerator that is, it's been awesome to go out on the types of trips that I take. And the really cool thing about the Grand Cherokee, and I guess most cars have these days, is it's got the 12-volt plug back here, and so I obviously just run this while I'm driving around, and it keeps everything very a reasonable temperature, plenty cool enough. So this was something that really kind of upped my game. It's just so much nicer than a sloshy, soggy ice chest, which is, I still use at times, but with a trip like this, then the fridge works best for me. I'm going to now make some coffee and then put everything away and then get back on the road. But I want to show you something else first. I just got this about a week ago, and it's something that I had seen other people have and realized that it was really going to meet one of my needs. So I bought it. It's one of those USB rechargeable water pumps, and it's designed for, it's a 5 or 6 gallon water jug, but I just have this 3-gallon water jug because this is plenty for what I need on just a weekend trip. And it sits on there. It's not super secure like it would be on a larger jug, but it works great. And it's just really nice, easy. I don't have to lay the jug down, turn the spigot. I have some larger jugs that do that. They work nice, but I just wanted to get this. I like it. I typically bungee the jug up against the back of the back seat to keep it, so as I'm driving it, it's really stable. It's not moving around too much, but I just really like this thing. It's just super easy. Typically, I moved it out just so I could show it better on the camera, but typically I just reach back with both hands and turn it on, get the water I need. I don't even move the jug. And that was one of the things I really wanted. And that's just what it looks like when I have it secured for driving, just bungeed around the back of that seat, like I said. Whoa! Look at this little guy. A 4-point. nothing super eventful happened on my drive today. I have been driving for a long time. I'm driving these back roads and these trails. It takes a lot longer than you think it's going to, but I've been driving for, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours. I think I'm good in terms of, I feel pretty confident. I've got a couple of different places that I can go hunt. But for now, I'm in a different spot. Got a place to camp for the night. So just gonna hang out, you know, enjoy a campfire again. I'll show you around. This place is it's pretty wide open. I've been to this place before. Well, not this exact site, but this area. And it's nice area. So I'm just gonna hang out here for the night. Oh, enjoy another night of camp and a big campfire, and move on. Oh, where I was talking about this earlier. Yeah, okay. Good thing to do is take this out, put the cap back on your water jug before you go on these trails. Ended up with spilling, not a lot of water, but spilling water all over the back of the Jeep. So rookie mistake for anybody that's used to trail riding or overlanding or anything like that. Rookie mistake on my part. But since it was new, I just didn't think about it. I'm not used to have to worry about that kind of thing. Anyway, I'll get to work here. I am just happy to be out of the car. I just want to chill out for a little bit. Something else I got recently was I found this sterno cooker. So basically it's going to do the same thing that the barbecue grill that I used last night is, but this is actually designed for it, and it folds up flat, collapsible. So I'm going to use this right now just to see how it works. I really am curious to see if it works better than the barbecue grill or not. We'll see. Again, nothing special, just like I said. And that's like a super low heat. I mean, if I can hold my hand over it, I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I'll give it a few minutes and see what happens, but not holding out any hope on that right now. It might just be that can of sterno is old or something. Move this bag away from that. But yeah, I feel pretty hot. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so the sterno stove works just fine. It just takes a long time. I will definitely keep using it, but for stuff that really needs like a slow simmer, and that's what this needed, is just squash and mushrooms, so it needed to cook slowly. Works well. That's it. I'm out of here. I am not even gonna bother to make coffee. I'm just gonna stop for coffee on the way home. All in all, a good night's sleep. All in all, things went pretty well. So I hope you got something out of this. Hope you enjoyed it. I encourage you all to get out there, go camping, go explore, enjoy the outdoors. I just love it. I love being outside. So see you next time.